it got very deep very quickly. I had a really tough time, and I think it comes down to self-love.
After the wedding, I felt low-key depressed.
Wow. So if you're so smart and so intelligent and so brilliant, why can't you solve the problem of being happy?
Because if you think like a content creator, you rely on sponsorships and view count.
Let go of control of this thing because you can't do anything about it.
What does being the CEO of your own life mean to you? Hi, Taiki. How's it going?
Amy, it is going fantastic. I'm so excited to just sit down and catch up.
Yeah, I'm excited too. The last time we talked was at my wedding.
Wedding in, where was it again?
Guatemala.
Yeah. Wait, so how did you end up choosing Guatemala of all places?
Yeah, so we wanted to do destination wedding for sure.
Okay.
Basically either in Mexico or like Central South America. Wow. Because still in the Western Hemisphere, but we knew that it was going to be, honestly cheaper than the US. And essentially friends are going to be flying from all over the country anyway. So we're like, oh, might as well just pick somewhere and then make a trip out of it.
Yeah. You know what some of my favorite memories of the wedding were actually everything before the wedding. You had scheduled these brunches where you and all your friends and Sean's friends, we would all eat together. But I couldn't help but feel like, wouldn't that be nerve-wracking to have your friends from Caltech, from content, from like everyday life, all in the same room, and they like see different sides of you, but they're all hanging out with each other? Were you at all nervous for that?
Yeah, that's such right? a funny question, because I've actually had that question from multiple people as well.
Yeah.
And my answer, I think no one expected, and it was like, no, I was really excited. I wasn't nervous at all. And I think that's the same feeling I get when I host events. I'm just so excited for my different friends to meet, and I'm even more excited for them to become friends. Like when I was younger, I used to be afraid of introducing friends to each other because I'm like, oh, what if they become better friends than me? It's like that insecurity. Right. But now I feel like friendships are stronger and even better once my friends are friends with each other.
When did that flip switch? When did that switch? I don't know. When did that change happen?
Yeah, I think it was very gradual, and I think it's probably mostly since moving to New York, because I just feel like I met people that are a lot more like open to doing anything essentially, and like just genuine people who, if they're having a good time, then like they're not going to leave me out because they don't like me. It's just because like they're busy or something, right? It's like, right. I think it's a combination of like the people I'm meeting and choosing to be friends now are like much more genuine, and I understand them as people more, and also myself as in like, if something happens, it's not personal,
Yeah, I mean, it obviously worked out because like you should have seen near the end of the wedding, we were all exchanging Instagrams and like, oh, we gotta hang out back in New York, wherever we're in California, wherever all your attendees were, like we have to go say hi and hang out. So the vibes were very well cultivated. What's very interesting, I'm not sure if I explained this to you, I talked to Kathy about this. There was one moment at the wedding where I really teared up, and it was when I had realized that it was such a special once-in-a-lifetime moment for you. And you chose me, of all the people that you know, to share that moment with you. And that was so freaking beautiful that I got teary-eyed. Oh. And so thank you for, one, the chance to experience that. But can you, like, what were you thinking as you were walking down the aisle? Was it head empty? Was it just were you thinking about choreography? Like, oh, I have to get to this spot by this time? Or were you able to really soak it all in? Yeah.
Well, first of all, that's so sweet of you to say. And I'm so honored that you came.
Oh my gosh. It was amazing.
Honestly, it's like right back at like everyone who was there, that feeling. It's just like, I'm so grateful that I have spent my life as I have so far. And I have become the person I am to even make these great friends. And I felt like all of the little decisions I made throughout my life cultivated into this brilliant wedding day.
That's so beautiful. Just to think about it is so beautiful.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, this is another piece of advice. It's like, if not for like a career or like not for, other achievement or accolades, work hard and work on yourself and make great friends so you can have the most beautiful day of your life.
Yeah. And so as you're walking down that aisle, is that what you're thinking? You're having this feeling of gratefulness and almost like, I built this. Like you, this is something that I created through me and my passions and my authenticity.
Yeah. So honestly, walking down the aisle, my head was pretty blank.
Okay. Understandable.
Yeah. So what's interesting is I thought I would be more nervous, but I think I wasn't because everyone was just a true friend, right? So we kept the wedding very small on purpose. And I realized I didn't explain exactly like why Guatemala specifically, but it's because like a friend recommended it, and then as we were researching places, it just was perfect for the size of wedding we wanted. Plus we were considering Airbnb at first because we're like, oh, we want everyone to just be able to like crash immediately instead of having to drive somewhere, you know, to sleep.
Understandable.
But yeah, I just felt like since everyone was a true friend and someone who I was like really actually comfortable with, similar to how like I'm very happy with friends getting to know each other.
Yeah.
There was no worries. Like if I trip and fall, like that's fine. Obviously I wouldn't want to, but I was just like, anything that happens is going to be fun. And that's also the attitude that Sean and I went into the wedding with, where like, even though planning was a little stressful because the vendors were a little slow sometimes on responding and there were details, we're like, we know with 110% certainty that this is going to be an amazing day simply because of the people there.
Yeah. And so this was already, I guess, 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago now.
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy.
So when you think back to that amazing weekend, is there a certain memory that keeps replaying in your head? Many.
Yeah. I would say many. And one of them was also like when I was walking down the aisle and I saw my friends' faces, including yours.
Oh my God. I just put my sunglasses on. I was crying. It was so embarrassing. And the drone came right, or the cameraman or drone would come right to my face because they knew they would get a good shot of me just sobbing. So I'm even crying now kind of thinking about it. But anyway, sorry, continue.
Yeah, no. And I felt, when I saw you guys tearing up, I was like, dang, this is it. Like it felt real. And to be honest, looking back, I was almost a little like, I almost felt bad that I didn't tear up because I was like, why am I not tearing up, you know? And like it was like emotional, but I think it was just like excitement of the day. And I think that I would definitely cry at all my friends' weddings, but maybe I'm not so much a crier for myself because I actually cry very easily in like sad movies. Like there's that one movie about like the dog like waiting for its owner, but the owner died. I every time I played the aisle walk-in music, so it was Enchanted by Taylor Swift, the orchestra version, every time I played it when I was deciding the music, I would tear up. But in that moment I didn't, I think because my head was blank, and also like I didn't even hear the music. I was just like walk slowly.
That's so interesting. Does that mean that it was hard to stay present? Or does that mean that, like what does that even mean? Like, why do you think that happened if every time during rehearsal you're like tearing up and then the actual thing happens and you just get through it?
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest.
Okay. Just curious.
Yeah, you asked me like, what does it mean to be present? And was I present?
That's tough.
Yeah, I truly believe I was present on that day. And I realized that being present means no thoughts.
Good point.
Yeah, like
that
no
was
thoughts.
You being present. Yeah,
and like I tend to overanalyze things as it's happening.
But
funny enough, that's like not being present.
Yeah, I hadn't thought about it like that. So yeah, the fact that maybe you were head empty was proof that you had mastered being present in such a high stakes, exciting moment.
Yeah, just in that moment. I find that like my head protects myself when I'm in that moment, because like right before Sean proposed, all the signs were very obvious that he was going to propose, but my head refused to put the pieces together, and so that way I could still be surprised. Wow. So it's really crazy. And I think it's like everything coming together, and it wasn't just the music playing, so I didn't pay attention to only the music, that I didn't like tear up, you know.
Gotcha. I see. I see.
Yeah.
I feel like we've jumped around a little bit throughout the wedding weekend. Like, why don't we take it chronologically?
Okay. Yeah. Good point.
Okay. So so I landed on Friday night. I landed Friday night. I was in the same shuttle as like Angel and Helen, and then some of Sean's friends as well. And so we get there. I think the first time I see you was the next day for brunch, right? And that brunch was also at a fantastic restaurant. and it was a very wide table, and we have plenty of pictures. Shout out to Ryan for that. And you were sitting right in the middle. Some part of me, I was thinking or trying to empathize, is like, this is your weekend. Isn't it a little nerve-wracking to have all eyes on you and you be like the center of attention for such a long time? That seems like it could be stressful.
Yeah,
right?
I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
And I also realized something about myself is that I don't necessarily like being the center of attention. And it's funny because
you do content.
Yeah, I make content, but I feel more comfortable celebrating other people. But the funny thing is, when I am celebrating someone else, I also imagine like, oh, what if I was the one being celebrated?
Right. Yeah. That's exactly what I was doing.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like always like the grass is greener kind of thing.
Right.
But I think that like this time, because we worked so hard on this weekend and we knew it was like not only for us, but for the friends, that we were just excited that we were the ones like quote unquote like at the head of the table, you know, because like truly throughout that weekend we did feel like obviously we're being celebrated, but it was very special because we knew that everyone's there because of us and because of their direct connection to us, and like therefore like it's like very natural and logical that we're the ones with attention being on, right? And so I think it would be like if you had unwanted attention or like unexpected attention, then I would feel more uncomfortable.
I see.
But in this case, because it was expected, it was like, oh, you know, this is what we planned 8 months for, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And did you feel in the moment that you had a stronger obligation to spend time with Sean or your friends? You're like, it's a weird balance because they're all there, right?
Yeah. So funny enough, because Sean and I were already legally married.
Yeah.
For like 2 years actually.
Surprise.
Yeah, surprise. So I think like a little bit of the criticalness of the wedding was like toned down. Because
which was a good thing.
Yeah. And so we actually felt like we should spend more time with our friends. And so we were purposefully like separated, sitting on like each side of the table. And that's also why like jumping ahead, but we'll come back. It's like the night of the wedding itself, like we kind of also separated and talked to like different friends.
Yeah. I actually really liked that because it's weird going to an event where you're celebrating a person, but you don't actually get to talk to that person. Right. So I was like, I didn't want to bother you because I knew like you had a lot of stuff to do, but the fact that you came to us and came to talk to us gave me a chance to hang out with you. Yeah. Which I really liked.
Thank you. Yeah. No, I'm so glad it worked out because when we attended weddings, we also didn't like when we didn't have a lot of FaceTime with the people who invited us. Right. And we're just like, this is so crazy. You travel like hundreds of miles and then you like speak like 2 words with them. It's like, the heck? Yeah. And so I think what the smaller size and the 3-day event afforded was that FaceTime.
Yeah. So smart. I didn't know this. You were that intentional about everything going into it. Well done. And so the second day, well, after that, I guess everyone kind of split up and did their own things for the night. Occasionally, it was funny how everyone kind of through one way or another met at McDonald's. Would they go to the most American restaurant?
The most beautiful McDonald's ever.
It was beautiful. There was like a huge courtyard there. That was very nice. Yeah. The next day was also brunch. No. Right, or it was at the farm.
Yes.
That one I bet felt a little similar. No, like in your priorities and what you wanted to do with that brunch.
Yeah, right? I tried to sit next to people who did not attend the previous brunch.
That's smart. You're right. I didn't remember that, but yeah, you're right. Yeah, you were with the Caltech crew or the Caltech math club. Yeah, math club crew. Yeah. That's right. I had a very fun moment with one of them who had recently raised venture capital funding from a firm that I had the general partner of the firm on my show. Oh, yeah. So I knew a lot of the people at the firm that invested in him. So I wish I'd talked to him more about that. Oh, he was also one of the best dancers at the party. Gosh. He was having a great time.
I know. Yeah. I did not expect that because when we went to math camp together, one night was Friday's mandatory fun, and they threw a bunch of these math nerds, awkward like 15-year-olds into a room, played music, and said dance. Yeah. And no one danced.
Oh my god! Wait, that's so funny. Wait, at math camp, they have a mandatory fun day or like a mandatory social day. Is that?
Yeah, it's literally called mandatory fun.
Oh my gosh! Wow, that is quite nerdy. I have to say that's quite nerdy.
Yeah. And that's also why I was excited for like people to meet, because I knew you guys had stuff in common, like whether it was like you and Sam, or like you and then Emma, the officiant, who like is also working in startups.
Yeah.
And I think it just felt very fulfilling to know that I have been a consistent person throughout my life. And that's how my friend Lauren put it too. She was like, oh, I guess it shows that you're consistently a good and cool person, that all your friends match well together.
Yeah, I'm realizing now that I'm not that. I'm not consistent. Sorry, like, so for more context, like I very much changed who I was and how I presented myself to the world at every major turning point or fork in the road. So like when I was in high school versus the person I was in college, very different. And then college and post-college, very different. And what actually ends up happening is I haven't kept those friends because I've become a different person. And some part of me is actually a little insecure about that. It's like, which one is true, authentic, genuine Taiki if I keep changing every time there's a fork in the road?
I think it's all of you, you know? It's like, I don't like the advice where it says like, oh, you should like get the ick about your past self. Because there's that advice floating around somewhere on social media. Right. Because that person is part of you, and that person brought you to how you are currently. And I would say like I also did like evolve, right? Like it's not like without evolving throughout my years. And my number of close friends from the past had like dwindled, right? So like I had 0 friends from high school, and then I had like 4 friends from college, and then like most of my friends were from New York. And so I'd say like that's kind of the progression.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Well, I guess math camp was from high school, but not like my actual high school.
Right. I got you. Wait, why do you think that is, that you aren't super close with your high school friends?
Yeah, so
you didn't have any.
Yeah, so I did invite 2 high school friends. Right. One of them, she just couldn't come because her husband is actually like working with the government, and Guatemala has some things with the US.
Wow. That's scary. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
Yeah, and then the other friend was actually a childhood friend who, to be honest, I was a little indecisive about inviting because I just felt like our lives were so different that like I wanted to invite people who I knew were like gonna still be close friends with me far into the future.
I see. Yeah, I'm kind of curious what goes on behind the scenes of picking who to invite and who not to, especially because very intimate setting. Like you didn't invite the whole world, you know. It was very few spots. I guess like what was the criteria? Was it just like someone who you could see yourself being in your life for many years to come?
Yeah, I think that was a main one.
Yeah.
And mine was slightly different from Sean's because Sean invited a lot of people from school where like I personally was like, oh, I'm not sure if he's going to stay in touch with them, but it was simply because of proximity and, you know, like the number of like interactions they have on a daily basis. And so I think that might have influenced me as well, where like the New York friends were people I like hung out with the most with in New York.
Well,
but
that's proximity.
Yeah, exactly. So like some proximity affected me as well.
Oh,
is what I'm saying.
Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And I think in that case though, because it's not a built-in environment of school that caused that proximity, I believe that that's more an effect of just supposed to being together, you know, or like vibing more, right? Because I wouldn't hang out with this person by choice that much if I didn't feel like they made me so happy and comfortable, and like we both like help each other, you know. Interesting.
This is kind of a sad thought. When you're at a wedding, it's very natural, and I think like your first thought is like, when I throw my wedding, right, do I want something to be similar or different? And I was thinking with the guests, and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know enough people to have a wedding like that. Wow. I've come to realize that, like, I had a moment of reevaluating the closeness of a lot of my friendships, right? Like, I always thought of myself, or I prided myself on being able to build deep relationships with people. But if I hosted a wedding right now, I think I'd invite maybe like 8 people, right? And that was like kind of sort of like a awakening moment for me. And I couldn't help but feel like, am I doing something wrong? And so I think maybe if I wouldn't be surprised if that's a common thought amongst people who have weddings. It's like, wait, they come to realize I actually don't have that many super close friends.
Yeah, well, it depends on the kind of wedding you want to throw, which sounds like in your case you would also want a more intimate one.
Out of necessity, yes.
Yeah. No. But I would say like a lot of the people on my side, like 20 people it came out to be, like they're plus ones as well. And so it wasn't like I had like 20 very, very close friends, because also that's just not really possible, right? If you're friends with like everyone very close, you're probably not that close. But
wait, that's an interesting take. Why do you think that? Like, as in, if you have so many close friends, you have actually no close friends, right? You know, which is
yeah. So I think it's simply because like we all have limited time, right? Like I would say that, you know, I had some like close friends from Caltech, which like I did invite them to the wedding, but I don't know if maybe it's like different tiers of closeness, I guess, right? Because like my closeness, when people ask like, oh, who are your close friends? I say like, oh, you, Kathy, Ryan, Vincent, you know?
Yeah.
And I also want to say that Angel said the same thing that you did. She was like, I don't know who I'd invite to my wedding. She was like, I feel like I don't have any friends.
That's funny. Angel, I bet, is so popular. She has like the personality type of someone who's so good at making friends, which is funny she would say that.
No,
and so, well, okay, in the same like wedding analogy, I may have explained this in a previous episode, but I in the past like to put friends in a tier list. And the tier list is as though we were at a wedding, which is your tier ones are people that you would consider to be your maid of honor. And then the next one would be the tier twos, who you'd consider to be in your bridal party. The tier threes are those who you'd invite to the wedding, or you'd consider inviting to the wedding. Then tier fours are friends, but you wouldn't invite them to your wedding. It's like I had used that framework for a while, actually, to determine like, oh, how close are these people to me actually? And I found it interesting that you didn't implement a classic bridal party, or I mean, technically Angel was your maid of honor, but like by the writing on the card, but it wasn't. I don't know exactly what the dynamic was. Apparently George wasn't officially the what is it? The best man.
Yeah.
Apparently. So we could talk about that, I guess. Like, what were your thoughts around bridal parties and maid of honor? Yeah.
So first of all, I would like to mention that you can break down the tier even more, where people, when I was planning the guest like invites, actually there's like a first wave of invites, and then there's like a second wave of invites, and like so on.
Interesting. Yeah. In case like the first wave like can't make it, or too many of them say yes, and then you don't have time.
Something like that. I see. We didn't really have waves necessarily, but we just like thought of new people like a month before the wedding. We're like, you know, it'd be nice if you come too.
Got it. Yeah.
So actually, like Ben was one of those people where Sean was like, oh, actually we've become really close, and I think we could be friends like into the future, which is why he was actually like a later invite.
Gotcha.
You know?
Gotcha.
Yeah, not like a formal wave kind of thing, but just thinking of it. And so back to the bridal party thing. So when I was talking with Sean about our wedding, I was like, oh, I'm gonna have like XYZ, like these people, looks like I'm gonna have like 6 people in my bridal party, you know, because I was like, oh, these are all close friends. But then when the reality of planning came, first of all, I learned it was very costly for bridesmaids, and then second of all, it was like more logistics. And I didn't think it was necessary to put a label on close friends, especially if everyone I'm inviting is a close friend, you know?
I see.
Yeah.
Also, you have like mixed gendered close friends too. Like some of them may be guys, some of them may be girls, and it's awkward to kind of have like a bridal party, or like what is it called? Not groomsmen. Yeah. The opposite of that.
Yeah. I think groomsmen. Wait.
For women.
Oh, women's bridesmaids.
That's right.
See, I don't even know the term.
Yeah. I can see it being also like culturally different to have bridesmaids, but then some of them be guys and some of them be girls too. But I get where you're coming from. Interesting. I like how intentional you were about this whole process.
Yeah. No, we were super intentional about every piece of it, and like that's why the Bachelorette, quote unquote, was not really Bachelorette. They were like, you know, you were there, Ryan, Vincent, right? And I have a lot of close guy friends, right? And I'm just like, oh, I don't want them to be like left out.
Yeah.
But what we did do is just have like a getting ready crew, which is like basically all the girls I invited
Yeah.
like got ready with me.
Yeah. That's so fun.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so then we took like pictures together, like
Yeah.
as if it's a bridal party, but not really. Like there's no titles and no one's going to be upset that my sister is the maid of honor. Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, everyone understood
yeah,
that.
it just
Yeah.
simplified things. And like, I also didn't want like everyone to like commit like buying the same color dress and then like
Yeah.
shell out all this money and like all the like traditional things.
Right.
And then like, I don't know, for some reason we're not that close into the future, right? But,
I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, to push back on that, right? Yeah, like it is a big commitment to buy a dress and coordinate with the whole, bridesmaids crew. But you also like had your wedding in Guatemala, right? Like there's a lot of friction there too. It's like someone's got to buy tickets and they got to go all the way to a different country. There's like passport issues for some people who may be international. I don't know. So like I guess there was a balance, right? You can't expect insane amounts from everybody. I don't know how you guys thought about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So I think, inviting people to your wedding, I realize now is kind of like, it puts pressure on the guest.
Well, it's a big deal.
Yeah, especially if it's a destination wedding.
Yeah.
So some people that I invited, they did say no. I don't think necessarily. Oh, some of Sean's friends said no because of the cost, and some of mine said because of other conflict. But also, why I say like I don't regret like where people didn't come that I invited is that like first of all I don't really have regrets about the wedding.
Yeah.
I think like everything turned out great. Like there was no one missing.
It was amazing.
Yeah. There was no one missing. That's like very obvious that comes to mind,
Yeah.
right? Like it would have been nice if like, this friend came who I invited, but like,
Right. Also one really quick point is your parents weren't at this wedding. And so like everyone was around the same age group.
Yes.
And I felt like that gave us the green light to just kind of be kids.
Yeah.
And that was the most amazing thing because we knew like old your family members wouldn't be like looking down on us when we're like breaking it down on the dance floor and we're like sweating bullets and like we're taking shots. Like I think that made the wedding so much more fun because we were all like of the same age group.
Yeah, for
huge.
sure. I didn't realize how much of an impact that would have made. So at the beginning, I was honestly a little regretful and sad that my mom wouldn't be like there in the typical wedding thing and my dad wouldn't walk me down the aisle, the whole like, traditional shebang.
Yeah.
But it's funny, I never say that word. But turns out it was for the best where like even leading up to the wedding I was like, oh, this is actually good because usually my friends and my parents like there's a bit of a language barrier simply because like English is not their first language.
Right.
And not only between like friends but like even sometimes with like us hanging out with our parents there's a cultural and generational barrier. Right. And so we actually thought this is perfect to separate it into a friends and then a family and then the family can do whatever the heck they want.
Yeah, I love that. Wait, so we're kind of moving slightly into the reception.
Oh yeah.
So let's go back to the actual wedding day.
Yeah, and
right, and so it's go for it.
Sorry. I was just gonna answer your question about the destination wedding thing.
Yes. Oh, sure.
Yeah. Sorry, because I think we jumped around with so many thoughts. But yeah, so to make sure I answer that question. So I think that like even though it was a big commitment on my friends, that like if there were close friends, then they would be like, oh, I'm gonna make it no matter what. And so like Kathy, for example, she was like, oh, I wouldn't miss it for the world. And I wouldn't miss her wedding for the world. I wouldn't miss like yours or Ryan's or like Vincent, right? And so I think like that also was just an effect of choosing the right people to have the option to come. Like I don't think anyone would be like, oh, but I feel pressure from Amy,
Yeah. Kathy's a great example too because she was busy. Like the day before she had nationals, right? And like she like flew straight from like Alabama or like Wisconsin. I know where she was. But it was just so important to her that she would find a way to make it work.
Exactly.
And that was amazing.
Yeah, it was self-selecting, I think.
Ooh. Yeah. I like that. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'm doing a destination wedding then.
No.
I might do something in America. I might do Hawaii.
Okay.
Because my parents got married in Japan, and then they lived in Hawaii for a while after, and so I have like a strong ties to Hawaii. Oh. But we'll see. Well, that's a future problem.
Okay.
And so let's start the actual day of the wedding.
Okay.
And so you had mentioned you had this like get ready party with the girls. When you woke up for the morning of the actual wedding, were you nervous?
Sean and I slept very poorly.
I was going to say probably the whole weekend, tough to sleep well.
Yeah. So actually the other days we slept decently.
Yeah.
But for some reason this night was just not a good night.
Oh,
and
no.
we were just like, and I felt a little frustrated by that. But then I tried to just be like, because the day of, the more you get frustrated or upset about something, the more you're ruining it for yourself, right? And
Ooh,
so
yeah,
and so I'm just like,
that's tough. Yeah.
Oh well, whatever. I just like brush it aside because it's not ideal when you don't start on a good night of rest.
Right.
Because I was like, this is the best day. I want to be energized.
Yeah.
Turns out I was energized anyway.
Good.
But
Yeah. Yeah. The adrenaline's got to be pumping throughout the whole night. Right?
Exactly.
Whew.
So like, I actually naturally woke up what I felt was too early, but then I saw the clock and I was like, oh, it's just a minute before my alarm. This is perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. And so
when did you wake up?
It was like 6:59.
Jeez. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. And it was also kind of like a point of, annoyance because Sean and I, when we attended our first wedding, we both said to each other, we're not going to be tired the day of our wedding. Because we saw the bride like get up at like 4 a.m. to start hair and makeup. We're like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
that's tough.
Yeah. All that to say, like, we weren't really nervous. Well, I wasn't. But Sean's friend Brandon told me the other day that he was like, Sean actually said he was nervous that day. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. Because I actually didn't really feel nervous.
Yeah. And the reason why you didn't feel nervous once again was because like everyone was close friends there. Like you had no one to impress. Mm-hmm. You had no one to disappoint either, right? You were just there to celebrate a great moment in time for you.
Yeah. I feel like leading up to it, I could be stressed because I could like try to, harp on the vendors or like do other things, right?
Right.
But once the day started, it's out of my hands.
See, I love that. Easier said than done, I will say.
Yeah.
Like, I think, we're both overthinkers more than we are underthinkers, for sure. Uh-huh. And, like, to understand, I don't have control over it. Like, I'm just going to be free and live my life. It's something that you can think and understand logically, but it's hard to embody that.
Yes. Yeah. And I agree. And I think only when the day actually happened, I knew I had the capacity to do that. So otherwise I'd be like, oh, how the heck am I supposed to do that? Because I knew leading up, I was like, be present, Amy, be present.
Yeah.
But that's not to say like things didn't go wrong and I didn't have little annoyances. Like, for example, getting ready took way longer than it should have. And so we didn't have as much time for pictures, which like to me is like, oh, but I like am the most pretty I'll ever be. Like, I want more pictures.
Okay. So you wake up at very early, to me at least very early, and you immediately go to get ready. So you go to Villa Bokeh and to meet all the girls. Yeah.
So Sean and I eat a quick breakfast together, and then I go to meet the girls. And the girls showed up around, I think, like 10 mostly. Yeah. But Angel showed up around like 8:30, same as me, along with Kathy, because they were staying together. And then Angel was also getting hair and makeup done professionally.
Wow. Okay. Gotcha. And you got a wedding dress all set up before and everything, right? Mm-hmm. And so on the day of your actual wedding, you're putting it on, you're getting dressed with your favorite people. How special is that?
Yeah. It sounds more like magical in terms of like your view, but it was actually a little more chaotic.
Okay. Well, I'm sure there's like so many things. There's hair, makeup, the actual fitting of the dress, and like it's hot in Guatemala. Yeah. It's not like, well, maybe it was breezy in the morning, but like it's warm. It's sweaty.
Yeah. The video will come out magical, but
nice. Okay, good.
The reality is like the getting ready part, I'd say, was probably the most awkward time of the day.
Really?
Because my content friends were making TikToks and they were like loud and they had things to do, while my non-content friends, they were a little quieter. And I think there was a little bit, there was an imbalance of the energy there more than at any other point during the weekend.
I see.
Yeah.
And that bothered you?
I just felt a little bad for the quieter friends because I was worried that they were bored. Oh,
I see. I see. It's like the host inside you wanted to make sure everyone. Mm-hmm. but also at the same time, like, once again, they're there to celebrate you. It's not your job per se, although it may feel like it, to make sure everyone's having a good time. Like, they're there to support you, and them supporting you for them is fun. Right. So maybe I'm not sure if that's a good framework to have. I think when I host parties, I always find myself getting in this like spiral of dark thoughts when I think about curating a certain aesthetic or a vibe and trying to make sure everyone's not bored, because that's just, you can't control a lot of that in reality. All you can do is give them a space for them to find a way for themselves to be happy.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So to make myself feel better, I imagined how I would feel if I was in the like quieter friends perspective, and I was like, you know what? Actually, I'd be fine, because I'd just be like chilling, and I'd be like, oh, it's okay if I'm on my phone a little bit or something like that.
Yeah. Exactly. And so you had a whole crew to help you get ready, right? As in, like, you had like a professional people like doing your hair and then helping you put on the dress and everything.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Angel and Helen actually helped a lot, because they were at my dress appointment, so they learned how to like do all the complicated, annoying things on the dress, which, like, you're lucky you don't have to figure out.
I would never have to understand. Yeah. Also, my fit at your wedding was definitely an interesting one.
No, it was so cool.
With the tie not tied. I was the only one with a tie that wasn't properly tied. I feel like.
You're so swaggy all the time.
Dude, I would like to. I'd hope so.
Your glam bot. Your glam bot too. You like.
No,
like,
oh my gosh, I can't even look at it. I like cringe and shrivel up like a raisin every time I just think about it.
No.
It was fun to do regardless. It was very fun.
Okay, so you don't want me to post it along with a compilation of other people's?
No, you could do it. You could do it. It's funny. Mm-hmm. I just whenever I see it, I'll cringe down about it. I see. But I think it's funny. Anyway, okay, so you finish getting ready, right? And then you guys all book it to the actual venue, or Sean picks you up, then you go take your photos?
Yeah, so the getting ready place was actually on the venue, but it was like nice. A little building, like kind of secluded.
Wow.
Yeah. So basically really good choices by us were like keeping everything in one place.
Yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
So yeah, basically we split off to like do first look with me and Sean, and then like the other girls went to go like check in and like meet with the other people.
Yeah. Oh, because they all have to, like, their luggage.
Yeah.
They came directly from the Airbnb, I guess, right? Yeah. Wow. I see. And then so you guys are getting ready. You and Sean go to check everything and then take your photos.
Yeah. First look is when, like,
I don't know what first look is.
When Sean, or like when the groom sees the bride in their hair, makeup, and dress for the first time. So Sean never knew what my dress looked like.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought that happens when you walk down the aisle.
Yeah, so there are two ways to do it. It's like one, it's like before, or one, it's like the aisle. So the aisle one is more sentimental because it's like, oh my gosh, like that's when you get the groom like tearing eye. But this way, when we do it, it's like they capture it on camera and then we can take photos together, because otherwise we don't have any time for a photo shoot before the ceremony. Yeah.
And so did Sean cry when he saw you?
No.
Okay. Did you want him to? At least get a little teary eye. At least a little something.
I don't know, because I saw videos and I was like, that's the toxic thing about like seeing stuff on social media for wedding. Because like when I see people teary eyed, I was like, Sean should be like that. Or like,
bro, I was teary eyed. When I had the first look, I got teary eyed, dude.
No, yeah, because like, there's like this thought like, oh, should it be a certain way? Like the word should, it creeps up, right? But there's no way it should be. It's like, then like I didn't care that Sean didn't like cry. He was just like, whoa, you look so beautiful, and in fact, and he was like, oh, it doesn't look ugly. Because I was complaining about the dress in the weeks prior, but I couldn't like say any specifics nor show him it. I was just there complaining to him, and so he was like, oh, I thought it was gonna be really ugly because of the way you talked about it. Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny. Oh my gosh. Wait, I wanna ask for this comparison thing. I guess you're right, because you grow up seeing weddings on movies and TV shows, and it's like sort of like glamorized in a lot of our heads as we grow up. Like I think girls like imagine their wedding day for years and years before it actually happens. And so you can't help but compare it to your friends' weddings, compare it to what you see on social media, compare it to your own dreams. Did you find that happened a lot or not that much through your process?
Yeah, I didn't have friends' weddings to compare it to.
Yeah.
So mostly it was social media.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, this will get into my like existential crisis after the wedding.
Okay.
But
yes.
I
Crisis
was like,
is a big word. Yeah.
but I was like, how much are my thoughts right now because of social media? It's like I had to keep asking myself that question during planning. I was like, do I want this element because I want it, or is it because I want it to show up in the things I'll post on social media?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And did you find that you could honestly answer that question? Like, as you went through the process, it's so easy to be swayed by social media that did you find that it was hard to answer that intellectually honestly? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So some things that people did that were extravagant, I was like, oh my gosh, should I do that too? But then I could bring it back and be like, no, but we're doing this instead, which is actually good because I already decided for XYZ reasons, right? And so I had to be like more logical on that end. In terms of things like other decisions that were harder, I think it came down to be a combination of like for myself and as an added bonus would look good on social media. For example, the sparklers, like I always wanted to use sparklers because they're just cool.
Yeah.
But then
they're really cute.
as a side effect, they also look good in pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. Is you especially are uniquely equipped to answer or deal with that problem as someone who's on social media, right? Like for me, who has like 0 Instagram posts and it's like not really on social media, like I have no idea what weddings actually look like. You are now you've set the standard for what I think a wedding is, right? But who knows? Maybe a lot of weddings are very different from that, right?
Yeah. I think our wedding, like from what I could see, was different because of no parents.
Yeah.
Some like traditional things wiped, you know, like daddy-daughter dance, no cake.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. No cake.
Yeah.
Well, there was dessert.
There was dessert.
Yeah. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but no like big 4-tier cake where we
why
cut
not?
We had a cake tasting and we didn't like the cakes. we're like too sweet in our Asianness. And we're like, oh, the desserts are delicious. I think people will enjoy those.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah,
they were good desserts.
Yeah, so
that's so funny. So had you had a good cake, you'd be like, all right, we'll do the wedding cake.
Yeah, but also we were just like, oh, but then it's another activity to do. Then we have to have the cake cutting, which is like another part of it.
Yeah.
And so part of me was like, oh, but we won't have the traditional cake cutting pictures. And so that's a time where I had to be like, wait, this is for social media. So actually, no cake.
That's interesting. Yeah, I see it. That's like a great example of you having to make that decision there. And so I guess we're getting to the reception now.
Yeah.
Right. And so you guys had a little intro to the reception, and you guys were playing "Fiend" by Travis Scott, which is like a amazing mosh pit song. And I remember me and Vincent's girlfriend were the only two that were like gonna hop in with you guys, because like Fiend's like I thought everyone was gonna charge in and start jumping with you guys. So like I'm like taking off my jacket, and Vincent's girlfriend is like putting down her glass, and she's like getting out of her seat, and then no one else came with us, and we like slowly crawled back to our seats while you guys were jumping up and down. But okay, so the reception starts, right? And the wedding ceremony itself is over.
Yeah. The performing part, besides the first dance, is over.
Right. Did you feel a sense of relief there, or more like, okay, we're halfway through, like let's keep it all together?
I think it was after the first dance that we felt relief, because then it was everything we practiced was over.
Yeah.
And the first dance was something where like you could mess up and like could be more obvious.
Wait, sorry. I skipped the portion. I want to go back. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries.
The vows.
Oh.
The vows. Those were good vows.
Thank you.
Very funny.
Sean's
and they were pretty long. When you were making those vows, was that an emotional process?
We both wrote our like talking points of the vows like throughout the past few months.
Okay.
So it wasn't like in one go. And I actually pulled a lot of my notes from the first wedding we attended together in 2021 actually. Yeah, like when we first attended the wedding, I got so emotional when I saw the bride walking down.
Yeah.
I started writing notes to, about Sean. And I was like, I'm going to put these in my wedding vows. And so I pulled that out a little. So, yeah, I think I was more emotional at that time than like when it came time to like actually write them.
Yeah.
So, I think, oh man, it was like pretty hard to write them because mine was like way too long.
I remember you mentioning that. You had to like, cut down a lot.
Yeah. So I had to remember that like, it's for Sean, but it's also for an audience.
That's a weird balance. Because it's really your day, but it's also a show. Yeah. But I was telling you, I think we were at the Bachelorette party, and I was like, thank goodness you have the problem of writing too much instead of too little. Because if you're writing too little, that's not a great sign for the relationship. But the fact that you had so much love and affection that you wanted to share with him in that special moment, and you had to cut it down for the sake of a larger audience, is a really good sign in reality, right?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, and so you're saying your vows. At that point, are you just reading off the page, or are you really feeling it? Or like when you listen to his vows, for example, are you really like actually understanding what he's saying? Or are you just like looking at him and like you're in this state of like otherworldly being? You know what I mean?
I think I was in the moment, so
Good.
I was listening to him.
Good.
And I was also like interacting with the audience at the same time.
That's right.
Because we're all in the same boat of not knowing what's in there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
that's true. Oh my gosh, did you ever tear up throughout the ceremony?
I didn't, but Sean said he teared up during my vows, and so that's how I know mine were more emotional than his.
Yeah, he definitely hit the comedy angle pretty well. He did that really well. I remember sitting next to my girlfriend for that portion, and like we could not stop holding hands. We were like, oh my gosh, this is the most beautiful thing ever.
So sweet.
Okay, now we can go back to the reception. Now we can go back to the reception. Okay, big intro, playing Fiend by Travis Scott. Right after that, almost immediately after, I think it was the dance, right?
Yes.
And so you'd been practicing this for a while now.
Yeah.
And this is the thing that I think you had mentioned you were the most nervous for.
Yeah. And this is honestly the thing that caused the most tension in the wedding planning.
Wait, so why didn't you just not do it? Like you chose not to do the cake. Why didn't you choose to not do you didn't do the dance with your dad? Just don't do the first dance. But that one was one of those things you just had to do.
Yeah, I just felt like it was this one chance where we would learn to do something together. That like, and I also wanted it to be special because I think like whenever I see a first dance, I get like very emotional and I feel the love, and it tells a story, and I love music too. And I just like, it was a no-brainer. I never considered not doing it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's just like one of those things. Yeah, you knew you had to do, but it was gonna be hard. And it was going to be something you would work through with your partner.
Yeah.
And the story behind the first song I thought was great too. It was like the playlist that he sent you, it had one song on it, and it was just that. Or it was the first song on the playlist?
Yeah, it was the only song.
It was the only song, that's right.
Perfect. So he was just like...
He knew.
Yeah.
He knew. He played in the long game. That's what he did. He knew from the very beginning.
Dude, yeah, he was so romantic. Well, that's funny. I say he was, but like as time goes on, you know, you get more comfortable. Fewer of these like little gestures.
Yeah, that's always natural. Yeah. Oh my gosh. And then so now we're at the dance. The thing that you're thinking about is don't mess up, or you're thinking just have fun with it.
Yeah, I was trying to have fun with it.
Good.
Because I knew that the more fun and confidence I felt, the better I would do.
Yeah. I mean, you did great.
Thank you.
Did you end up messing up?
No, I don't think
so.
Okay.
Well, I'm saying I couldn't tell for sure.
Yeah. I think I stumbled a little because it was the first time dancing in my dress.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like.
Yeah.
Because he couldn't see the dress before, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. There was this one moment where he spun you around and then you timed it with the fireworks.
Yeah.
That was beautiful.
Yay.
That was like a moment, just a snapshot in time that I want to hold on to.
Yeah.
I thought it was, and I wasn't even there. Like I wasn't even part of that moment. Like I was from afar watching it. It was just so beautiful.
Thank you. I'm glad.
And then so after that, I think you guys sit down in the front, or away. You had your own table.
Yeah.
And then everyone starts to eat.
Yeah.
And so everyone's mingling. At that time, you just stuck with Sean, and Sean stuck with you as you guys were eating. And then the speeches happened. So anything in between there that was of note, or it was just like, okay, now you more relieved, the dance is done. Now we can actually enjoy some food. Could you even eat? Were you even hungry?
We were really excited to eat the food.
Okay.
Wow. So we weren't actively hungry, but we did a tasting of the menu before. We picked all the foods that you guys were eating.
It was good food.
Yeah. We were like, oh, I'm so excited to eat it again.
Yeah.
And we knew that this would happen, that like we wouldn't eat as much as we would have liked, but we still ate enough. That was like good, because usually people say that they barely eat on their wedding day, and we were just like scarfing down.
There you go. That's how you know you're present. That's how you really know.
Yeah, exactly. And I would say that like at reception we did feel like we were like, I don't know if this like sounds bad, but it's like king and queen per se. Yeah, because we were like at the head of like the whole room,
looking
and then
over
like
all of your peasants.
No. That's why I said like I don't know if this is the best word, but we felt like royalty also because like obviously we were the ones being celebrated, and then we actually had like a butler who was like serving us.
Oh wow.
Because like I don't know, Villa Bokeh, like the venue's service is really good. They assign you with a butler. Wow. And like this guy would like grab us anything we want.
That's fancy.
And so that felt pretty cool. And I was really excited for the speeches too. And to your point, asking about like whether I felt comfortable being celebrated or like having the attention on me. Yeah. I felt like I really wanted to embrace and bask in this moment because the first wedding I attended, the speeches were directed toward the bride and groom, right? And I was like, this is the only time in your whole life where like people are going to make speeches just about you. And like you can see how you are from someone else's point of view. Because like no one else is gonna like gush about you like face to face all the time. Like that just like doesn't happen, right? Yeah.
What went into the process of picking the people to say the speeches? So you picked Kathy and Angel, right?
Yeah. So Angel was obvious because she knew us for the longest time. Yeah. And then I think Kathy, just because like I would also consider like my best friend. Yeah. In this current moment, and then like Sean had 3 people because I had a maid of honor and then he didn't have a best man, so we just kind of tried to balance it out that way. Yeah.
Those were, I mean, they were all great speeches. I thought Angel's speech was really funny and Kathy's was very heartfelt. You guys had like a good balance between the two. Angel's got this natural like true authentic charisma to her. You know,
I was so blown away. I have not seen her do public speaking.
She killed it.
I think
She's
like
fantastic.
I think like ever. And then in that moment I was like, who is this? Is this my little sister?
Wow.
I was so mind blown.
In a great way, right? In a good way.
She did so good that day. She was like there for me for everything. And I think growing up, sometimes I would feel a little resentment being the older sister, like, oh, why am I never the one taken care of? But I really felt taken care of by her on that day.
Gosh, that is so beautiful. Make sure you tell her that. Make sure you let her know. There's this one moment. So right after the speeches, we can talk about the speeches too.
Okay.
But there's this moment after where Angel sings a song. I think it's by not Beyonce, but a very hard singer, like
Alicia Keys.
Alicia Keys, that's right. Like very high level song, hard to sing, but if done well, it's beautiful. And Angel knocks it out of the park, out of the freaking park. Like amazing performance. And I remember going to my girlfriend was sitting next to me, and I told her, this is one of those moments where like your partner will fall in love with you, right? Like there's like a few times where you you fall in love with someone you love again, right? And maybe like when you saw Sean in that suit for the first time was a moment for you where you like fell in love with it. So I was telling my girlfriend, for Daniel, this is gonna be one of those moments, right? And I thought it was just so spectacular. Shout out to Angel. Back to the speeches. I just thought it was such a beautiful moment for me that I will always remember. And it made me think about like, what are the times that I will fall in love with someone else? Something very pretty about that.
I love that.
Right. Okay. Back to the speeches. Weren't you shy at all? That people were gushing about you? Also, there was some roast in there, though. To be fair, you got bullied a little bit.
I was excited about the roast.
Okay.
I like people roasting me because I think it's funny. And I also think that shows how far I've come confidence-wise. Because just like, you know, the Kahoot, right? I was excited to see what picture came next because I knew it was going to be I knew it was going to be so embarrassing, but I loved it. I was like, this is hilarious.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. You like leaned into the feeling of embarrassment.
Yeah. Or like, I wasn't embarrassed. I was just like laughing with everyone else. Like, yeah.
Wow. I don't think I could do that yet. I don't think I have the self-love to do that, to be honest.
Yeah. I don't know if it's self-love or it's just like embracing like every piece of the person that everyone is, because like I would be like, oh, this funny picture of Angel is so cute, right? So like, why don't we use that same attitude toward ourselves?
Yeah, that's true. There was a few that were especially bad, by the way. There's one that I think you had like these black boots on, black jeans, like black lipstick or something, and I was like, this is great. I think I like had to take a picture. I stopped playing Kahoot. Like I pulled out my camera and I just like, I gotta take a picture of this.
Dude, I forgot those pictures were that bad.
Yeah, they were very funny.
Yeah, but the Kahoot night, like the Bachelorette was like also one of the best nights of my life, I'd say.
I skipped that part, by the way.
Oh, no worries. It's okay. It's okay. No worries. I know there's a lot to cover, but I think it was just so fun because I felt like a kid again. Yeah. And then I just feel like the good thing about me and Sean is like we tend to find humor in the everyday because I feel like that's how you live a happier life, right? Yeah. And I feel like that day was just, we laughed so much. Yeah. And I laughed so hard. Yeah. It was so great. That
was so much fun. This is very selfish of me to bring up, but we were introducing ourselves at your bachelorette party because we didn't have a formal introduction session yet. Yeah. And everyone had such a funny story to tell about like meeting you and getting to know you. It's like everyone's story had a laugh. My story, crickets, right? I had no funny story. I think like our interactions are always so deep and meaningful and introspective. But at that moment, we also have a lot of funny things too, but I had wished that I could deliver a line that was funny because I felt like everyone else had funny lines to say about it.
Okay, so I think that might just be your like spotlight effect. Okay, because I wouldn't say everyone's was funny.
Okay. Yeah. I thought a good amount of them were pretty funny. Or rather, garnered the laugh of many.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, yeah.
Yeah. No worries. Because like, but I totally get what you mean. Because I would feel the exact same way. I'm horrible at thinking of stuff on the spot. Yeah, and so I didn't even know Angel was gonna ask that, which I'm grateful she did. But I was like, oh man, I'm glad I'm not answering. Yeah.
We had, about that one moment where everyone's introducing themselves, we had actually had a little talk after the wedding and how that moment had like reminded you of all the fun times you used to have or that you had before with all of these people. And it was like a full circle moment. And you would realize like, man, everything really is about just spending time with people you care about and like making these fun memories. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. That's part of the existential crisis.
Okay.
But I felt really guilty for not remembering some of them.
That's funny.
Like if the person never brought it up, I would not remember it anymore. Like when they said it, I remembered it. But if they didn't bring it up, I would have lost that memory forever. You know, because I don't think about it on a daily basis, or like I don't purposely dig it up, or I don't have a photo or video of it, right? Or like whatever. But I mean, granted, it might also be because like one of them, like that Emma said, was very sweet. It was about me bringing her food when she was like didn't have a chance to go to the cafeteria or something. Right. And so granted, like I probably wouldn't remember that because then it's like I'm remembering something good I did, which like, you know, you typically don't do that. But yeah, I felt bad because also we played fishbowl at the Bachelorette. Yeah, and I was like, after like, oh, that was so fun. I've never played it before. And Lauren's like, what do you mean? We played it like freshman year at Caltech, like for team bonding for basketball. And I was like, oh, we did. Oh. Yeah. And
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm confused. So is the thing that is the crisis that you don't remember, or that what? Well, so once they bring it up, everything comes back.
Yeah.
So what's the crisis actually about?
Yeah. So that's like one piece of the crisis, but basically after the wedding, so I'm skipping a little forward.
Yeah, let's do it.
I felt like low-key depressed.
Wow.
I was like, bro, the best day of our lives already passed. Like,
that is existential. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, that day was so perfect. That weekend was so perfect.
Yeah.
And like, Sean and I both were like, we're never going to have all of our friends together again. Like, there's no other occasion that's like special enough where it brings everyone together. Because like, you know, for example, someone's like, oh, I wouldn't miss that for the world, right? It's your wedding. There's nothing else that you wouldn't miss for the world, for someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then other parts of the existential crisis was like, what am I doing with my life? I was like, why am I back in the like grind culture of New York City when I was literally just in beautiful Guatemala with my friends and people who matter? And like, why am I like stressed in and day out thinking about like hundreds of thousands of strangers I've never met who are my followers and I obviously still care about them.
Right.
But then like my mind's occupied by them and I forget the memories with my actual good friends.
Wow. That's deep.
Yeah. And I was like, why am I working so hard now? But like, then I was like, oh, well, I still got to pay bills.
Yeah.
But then I was like,
wow.
Is there any way to like be this happy on a weekly basis? Or like, just like, if I'm working so hard and that is for my dream life, but my dream life is like this wedding weekend, like, how do I actually live it? Otherwise, I'm just working hard for nothing.
My first thoughts. I feel like that's a natural feeling after such a grand special experience.
Yeah.
Right. And it somehow comes back to the nature of comparing. Right. And if you have like the best day of your life, the next day you will compare to the best day.
Yeah.
And the day after that you will also compare to the best day. And then at that point every day is not going to be the best day. That's my first pass at it. Is there anything that's speaking to you? I can keep talking about it.
Yeah.
Or does it not really feel like a comparison problem? It more feels like a direction problem.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say I compared it because obviously we're like, it like every day is not a wedding. So there's no way I can compare it to the wedding day. Right. But I was just questioning like, what do I actually care about and what actually makes me happy?
Wow. Okay, you know what? Let's take the time to like make this a thought experiment.
Okay.
So like, I'm sure a lot of your viewers are thinking something similar. Like, especially if they watch your videos, like you're the one who tells them to go do what makes them happy, and that aligns with their goals, and that's how you get to where you want. Is you're doing something that you love, and you're doing it diligently. So the problem that you're currently working through is like, what actually makes me happy? So how do you work through that? Like, what do you ask yourself? What do you tell yourself? What do you think about? How do you process such a big question like that?
I've been trying to think back on the times I felt true excitement and when I felt present.
Okay.
And
the wedding.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what I came to conclude is like often I feel present and have inner peace when I'm with people and having a good time, right? And what I mean by inner peace is like, first of all, I'm present, but then second of all, I'm not like anxious because I realize like it's great like building your own business and everything, but it's come to the point where like it triggers anxiousness in myself. And I never thought I would be someone who can have like physiological effects like that. But if I were to be honest, like it does affect me like literally physically, like my chest like starts like kind of like being stressed out, which like I think I'm getting better at now because I'm feeling like less pressure about it because I realize it's not that important, right? Not as important as like other things. But then I think other times I feel excitement are when I work on a project that feels creative and that I truly want to do without external perks or benefits or like thinking about the result, right? And I think oftentimes I don't get that deep work anymore, and working on something that has no like end goal of like money or something per se, you know. So other times I feel really happy are like when I'm singing like karaoke.
Yeah.
And then also when I'm like maybe like editing a video and I'm just like so into editing the video, even if it's not a video that I expect to blow up, you know.
Okay. A lot. I don't even know where to start.
Yeah, but I just feel like the issue is that I think a lot of things conflict, like to achieve more and to like grow the business and to have more like financial freedom and all of that stuff. I feel this sadness that always has to come at the cost of like your actual passion or creativity. And I thought I could marry those two, but I'm realizing that's actually probably not possible, because simply put, I'm not a rich person who can do anything I want and then like make it successful. Like I still have to have some kind of risk assessment.
Do you think a way to describe what's going on is like you're falling out of love with creating content?
Yeah, I think part of it is that. I think I have fallen out of creating content the way that I used to love it, because now it's like I have to hit certain metrics to like make money, and I knew this was going to happen one day, but I thought that like because I anticipated that I could like do things to like kind of hedge against it. But yeah, it's like it's really really hard.
Yeah, I guess that's like the difference between something being a hobby versus a profession. I feel like I can't help but feel like this is probably a normal transition for those who like commit to making a creative pursuit their livelihood, right? Like when you start to paint for the sake of your livelihood and money, you fall out of love with painting. Or maybe if you singing, all of a sudden you're going on tour that makes people very anxious, right? Or whatever it may be. What I'd like to think about, if I were you in this scenario, I've been thinking a lot about like mission and life statements, right? And how everything that you do is simply an expression of that fundamental core mission or life statement, right? So if the thing that you do, or the thing that truly makes you feel fulfilled and happy, is something around creating unique memories with close friends, right? There's many different ways that can be expressed, right? Whether it's like karaoke, right? Whether it's like going ice skating or going to friend hangouts or even doing a podcast, right? Like these are all expressions of what fundamentally makes you happy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so maybe, I don't want to speak for you, but maybe you're realizing that content isn't actually an expression of what fundamentally makes you happy. Does that make sense? It's a little woo-woo.
Yeah. No,
so like,
it makes sense.
It's hard to follow. Yeah.
No, it makes sense, because like one of the suggestions that like I came to mind, and then like Kathy and Sean also suggested, was like do a weekly game night. And I was like, oh, that'd be nice. But then I was like, oh, but how hard is that to implement, because everyone's so busy.
Yeah.
And because of the nature of New York and chasing your dreams, quote unquote, like people lose that sense of community. And then I was also talking, because like Ben, when he came over, he was asking me how I felt. I was saying the same thing, and I was like, oh, that's why people in like third world countries, even though we're more privileged in them, they actually tend to have greater happiness scores, and we in first world countries tend to have higher depression rates. Yeah. Because we don't have that sense of like community and like just like hanging out joyfully for no other reason than being happy after a long day of work. Like obviously we don't have to work like laborious jobs like they do, which like again, like we're very privileged, but it's just kind of like, oh, why can't we also have those like simple joys, right? And like what is actually better, you know? And also when I came back to like Instagram, because I deleted it for a long time, just to be more present. And when I came back and I was like seeing the explore page and what other people were posting, like everything seemed so silly to me. Like it seemed so stupid and useless. And I was just like, social media is so dumb. Like that's not the real world. Like why are cause like people are creating content that like literally does not need to exist. Yeah. It's the only reason it exists is so people can like, I don't know, show off their outfit and then like get free clothes and like get sent to Coachella or like get more money and like stuff like that, where like maybe it's just the artist in me talking, but I'm like, oh, what about like sharing ideas and like stuff like that, right? And on the bright side, when I look back at my content, I was still proud of it. I was like, this is not something that makes me feel like it's like useless, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I don't even know where to begin here. I think there's just so many aspects and there's so many like nuances to how you're feeling. Right. So I just want to clarify. So the core of it all is that you are finding the process of creating content for money to be something you don't enjoy.
Yeah. I think like when I felt like I had nothing to lose, I would say whatever I wanted to say. Yeah. But now I'm a little more like strategic and being like, oh, I need to make the perfect thumbnail and title. I need to do this, or like I have stress about everything I do because like what if it doesn't perform well? Like even though I think this is the best video, I need it to reach people, and like the algorithm is like, you know, it's merciless or whatever the word is. It has no mercy. And also like when I had this, I actually felt kind of burnt out during winter break, actually during the
I was gonna say this could be a burnout thing too.
Yeah. And I pride myself on never having burnout. I've never burnt out before, but I think if I were to be honest, like if I picture what burnout feels like, it might have been it. And a saving grace was I realized, oh, I should actually think more like a business person instead of a content creator. Because if you think like a content creator, you rely on sponsorships and view count. Right. So I was like, oh, I have to build my own product, which I've been wanting to do anyway because I feel like I have more value to share. Yeah. That's not just in my free YouTube videos. Right. But then I was like, oh, okay, so I need to think like a business person. And so I talked with Aman yesterday, and he was like, oh yeah, I feel like 99% of my time is on business now, and I'm never creative, and I love it. I love business. Yeah. And in that moment, I realized, whoa, that's not it either. I also cannot just be a business person because I actually do care about being creative. And so funny enough, that conversation with Aman gave me more peace and happiness because I realized I should not compare myself to what other people are doing if my desires and goals are not the same as theirs. Right. Yeah. Which sounds obvious, but like it just gave me clarity in that statement.
So what are your goals and desires?
I think doing something like a weekly game night. Okay.
That feels more like a Band-Aid solution to a larger problem.
Okay,
right?
So like the goals and desires is like having more community on a weekly basis, right? Which like comes in the form of like, it sounds kind of silly when I say it now, but like the game night or some kind of activity, right? Right. And like I feel like I want more like casual hangouts, not like going to dinner or something, but maybe like a house party or like you know something like that. So I want more sense of like community and doing things for the pure fun of it, and that could also mean like not with other people, but it could be like me playing like ukulele. Like Angel gave me a ukulele like 2 Christmases ago, and I feel so guilty that I haven't touched it in like a year. And it's simply because it doesn't bring me any value, you know, except for like happiness.
Well, like it doesn't any like monetary value, you mean? Or like any like value for your channel. Or
and it's like I'm aware of this toxic mindset that a lot of creators have, and yet I still am always like, oh, I have free time, let me just work on the business, because there's always more things to do. And so I'm also, another thing I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to find out what is enough and when do I say stop working for the day, because like I've been having this goal for like the past year, like stop working at 8 p.m. I don't listen to that.
Well, I think maybe before it was easy to work past 8 p.m. because you liked the work. Right? Well, so if you do you still like it? Like, do you like the editing part? You said you still enjoy.
Right. So I still like it, where like then I wouldn't continue working on it. Right. But I think it's like, so you asked like what are my goals and desires? I think one of the goals and desires is also to say what I want to say, like anything I want, and then share it to the world, and like people will listen. And so I think the podcast, like what we're literally doing right now, I think that serves some of that purpose, because I'm like very unfiltered. Obviously we didn't script this or plan for this, and then I just think like I'm so happy and excited to be recording this and to post it and for people to hear it, you know. Interesting.
Yeah.
So obviously podcast doesn't earn much money and this doesn't have that many like
well, not yet. But I think there's maybe what you're looking for is freedom. Like it goes back to the mission statement or life statement that I'm trying to craft is that like there should be like a vague statement about the way that you want to live your life. And I think that's worth contemplating on. Yeah. And once you find the way to describe how you want to live your life, then you start to see everything that made me happy were just different expressions of that phrase. So I don't really know how to get to that point, but I think it's like a bunch of iterations on like what you think, like what is the reason why you're like on this earth. Right? Yeah. And maybe rather like, it's hard. I don't really know how to begin with it either. It's like this is very existential. Yeah, and there's no real like logical frameworks that work for it. Right?
Yeah, and I lost my direction. I literally texted Sean like a week ago. I was like, I feel no sense of direction. Yeah, and it was just a random text, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, let's talk about it right now." And I think like, man, I forgot what I was gonna say.
Can I ask a question? Really quick? Yeah. Okay, let's say I come to you with the same problem. What advice would you give me?
I think I would say the same thing. Like, what made you happy throughout like all of your years? Like, what genuinely made you happy, and what's that common thread that connects them? And so that's like kind of the same thing you just said, but in different words.
And so, do you have an answer to that question?
Yeah, I think it's just like the community aspect is very important. Like throughout everything. It's the people that make me the most happy. Because I was telling you, I know the wedding's going to be banger because of the people. And the dance party was so fun. I was like, super fun. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sean and I were like yelling at each other on the dance floor. We're like, this is insane. This is effing insane. And like, I cursed too, which I never do.
And your heels too. Well, you switched into normal shoes at some point. Yeah. Like late into the night.
Yeah, it was very late. I was just so happy. Like, I don't care if my feet hurt. I could barely feel them. But, when we came back from Guatemala, I just immediately wanted to like ask people to hang out again. But I felt guilty because I was like, people literally traveled like to Guatemala for us already. So I had to hold myself back. Like, I can't ask to hang out yet. And I think that's also the thing that actually makes the game night thing not a real solution. Because I feel like that's not really possible, or I feel like guilty asking people to come. I think the same kind of feeling that you said you feel when like you have guests over and you're the host. Yeah. It's like, I'm asking too much of people to be here, which means like this actually has to be a good night, you know? Yeah.
Oh, I see. I think, well, you talked about this earlier, that the art of creating content is actually quite lonely. But it seems like the thing that you're craving the most is like deep social connection. Like, I think community is a blanket term, because if anything, I would argue you have the best community, right? Like an active community that like looks out for you. But it seems like what you're looking is something deeper than the word community. It's like deep relationships with people like in your immediate circles. Yeah. Or maybe like the cultivation of deep relationships in like tangential circles.
Yeah. So I think maybe I could boil it down to like 3 things. It's like, first of all, the deep relationships, like you said. Okay. And then number 2 is doing things for fun and the pure joy. Right. You know, and that could be solo activities too, as mentioned. And then number 3, it's like, I do love making content, but how do I make it not so tied to like stress and metrics? Yeah. You know? Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of like a very ironic question because like that's my job. Right. Yeah. So.
But like the idea is you want to find what feels like work to others, but is play to you. Yeah. Right. That's the ideal thing.
Yeah. And even though I was like, the content looks silly, part of me was also like, should I just be a fashion creator? Because I do like fashion, and like those girls seem like they're having the time of their lives. Like they don't have to worry about like whether their words are like meaningful or like impact people, and like that's another thought that came across.
Wow. I'm very surprised that you would ever have that thought. Yeah. Very different. You're evolving though. The fact that you are faced with this feeling and then have to workshop through it and then find a path that really does make you happy is a sign that you're growing. Like if you have done this for what, 4 or 5 years, 6 longer, right? I don't know how long you've been doing this for.
Yeah, like 5 years.
Right? And it's honestly, like, you should be excited. This is the first step to finding something that you could have so much more fun and enjoyment with, that is true to your character.
Yeah.
Right? Like before it may have been true to your character, but you also grow and evolve as a human. Different priorities, different things that give you fulfillment. And this is just a sign that you are evolving.
Yeah. Before I started growing in 2023 September, so I was actually like always having this lost same existential crisis feeling.
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And when I started like growing and making videos I was proud of and like sharing what I thought was really valuable and unique, to be fair. Like I do feel this extreme sense of happiness when I said something that's unique that no one else has said, right? And when I was doing pretty well on YouTube and growing during that period, I was like, finally, I found the thing. And I was really happy and content.
Yeah.
But of course, like there was some pressure too. But then I was like, oh, I found my thing. And so now it feels like I'm starting from square one again. It's like, oh, I have to start over to figure out what that thing is. Yeah. But like you said, it's like something exciting where like I am excited about what's on the other side. But I cannot figure that out yet because I also have the Asia trip.
Yeah. You have to go to China for a month and a half or a month?
Yeah. But that also might give me clarity. Like, yeah, like a month and a half, basically coming back June 20th. So a long time.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Sometimes like when you're in a state of like emotional turmoil, even if it's good, like if you can come down from exciting times like a wedding, then you're going to China. Like there's so much that's like you're in a state of turbulence, right? I find that the best decision is to not do anything and like sit and soak in these feelings of uncertainty and like lack of direction instead of thinking how to fix it immediately. Right?
Yeah,
and
I struggle with that.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier about like the anxious side of us.
Yeah.
Right? But sometimes like the best action is inaction. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think like this is one of those things, especially when you're like thinking about a big shift in your life. Don't make that decision with little information.
Yeah.
Right? Soak in it.
Yeah. That's the thing though. It's like what you just said. It's easy to say that and understand it, but it's hard to be like, oh, I'm actually going to do it or like internalize it.
Yeah.
And I'm someone where it's like, oh, but I have to be doing something because when I do something, then I use that to discover what I want. But I realize at this point, it's like, oh, maybe I actually should do nothing. But then I'm like, oh, then I'm falling behind. But there's like no behind because like you should stop comparing as well. And funny enough, like when I was doing quote unquote nothing and being really happy in Guatemala, I was like, I'm going to stop working so hard.
Yeah.
that was my conclusion. Yeah. And then I came back to the reality and rent. And I was like, oh, I actually have to continue working hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, actually, every time I come back from China or every time I'm in China and I see how hard my parents work, like our roots and everything, I'm like, I gotta work hard and I gotta like give back to them and everything, right? And so everything like kind of conflicts. But I have a question for you.
Please.
What does I made it in life look like for you? You think?
It's a fantastic question. What does I made it in life look like and feel like?
Yeah, like what does your life look like? What circumstances? Where are you? Where you are like, I made it. Like when people say, oh, I made it. What is that for you?
Jeez. This is going to sound crazy.
Okay.
I made it already.
Oh.
Like I don't, people tell you this all the time. It's about like the journey, not the destination. And it's one of those things that you can understand logically and conceptually, but to really live that is very difficult. So the past 3 or 4 years, I've been just obsessed with like, what does it feel like and look like to live that? To live, it's the journey, not the destination. And I think I'm pretty close.
Oh, that's amazing.
I think I'm pretty close. So like what it means to have made it is to be enjoying the journey. And it's weird. Like some part of me doesn't want the multi-billion dollar exit from a venture capital investment that I make. Because like the pursuit of it all is what makes me so happy. So it's like the same thing with like even heartbreak. Like people like to run away from heartbreak or pain or anxiety, and I like to run straight towards it because it makes me feel alive and like a human. And so all of that to say that like making it is enjoying the journey, right? Because if you get some external metric or you get what you want, you are going to want something else, or you will feel like there's no direction anymore. You will have gotten what you wanted and you will not have direction.
Yeah.
But making it is feeling excited about direction.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I would say. Does that make any sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And I think that's probably the answer I would give if I were to like tell anyone what Made It should be like.
Yeah.
You're like essentially enlightened, I must say.
Obviously there are things that I want.
Yeah.
But that's how like wanting those things, this is so like meta, and it's like hard for me to explain it in a simple way, but it's like wanting things is fun, and the pursuit of getting the things that you want is what life is all about. And so that is the thing that needs to be the fun part, not actually getting it.
Yes, I understand.
Something like that.
I understand.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
A tough concept, but yeah.
No, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And funny enough, my answer is also I've made it.
Really? We're in the same wavelength.
Yeah. But it's actually with a different explanation.
Okay, break it down.
So I was thinking like I've been thinking about this for a while, like, oh my gosh, I like married the love of my life. I have fantastic friends.
On paper, yeah.
Yeah, I live in New York City, my
Yeah.
like favorite place, and my sister lives here with me.
Yeah.
My family's doing well.
Mm-hmm.
I have an online community. I kind of achieved the dream I had, you know.
Yeah.
I work for myself. I have the freedom, and I have enough money, right? And we can travel, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm obviously not rich, but like I don't need that. And like Made It is what I have now.
Yeah.
And so that's also why I had this existential crisis. Like, why do I feel dissatisfied? Because I made it should be mental, which is why I say I like your answer better. And should is the answer that I would give someone as what it should be. You know?
I see.
And hence, it's like I made it on paper, but my mental state is not there yet. And that's why I'm frustrated at myself. Because I'm like, just like what I was saying earlier, right? If I do all of this for myself, then I should be enjoying what I got, right? Like, it can't be like, oh, I got this, but let's get more. Because then you'll never reach happiness and inner peace.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, I can have everything that I think that is, like, I made it, but there's literally always more. But that more actually doesn't matter. But how do I make myself stop caring about it? And so that's why I've come to this bottom line of, like, who am I without social media? And who am I without the noises of outside comparison or, like, even knowing what's possible out there? And that's why the farmer that, like, just, like, has no internet connection could essentially be the most happiest person in the world.
Yeah. That's so interesting. Oh my gosh. That if more than anything sounds like an enlightened thing that you just said. There's this podcast that I want you to listen to, and I'll send it to you after. Okay. It's with Chris Williamson and Naval Ravikant. So Naval Ravikant is the CEO of AngelList, which is a venture capital investing thing, but he's more of like a modern day philosopher now. He doesn't talk about VC stuff anymore. And he said that the only real true sign of intelligence is if you get what you want out of life. I think that's actually very true. It's not about IQ. It's not about like where you went to school. It's not about some test score. It's like, it's what, if you can get what you want out of life, which is for most people just to be happy. Mm-hmm. So if you're so smart and so intelligent and so brilliant, why can't you solve the problem of being happy?
Yeah.
It's like, that's what we're actually on this earth to solve for each of us.
Yes.
And so the farmer that never went to school but loves what he does every day, in reality, like, is the most intelligent person, right? Because he found the way for him to be happy, and he executed on that way.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's what I'm a big believer that really life is just a series of experiments, right? With the goal to be happier than we started with the experiment. So every time we run a hypothesis, which is like, for example, oh, if I have 100,000 followers, I'll be happier than I was before I ran this experiment, right? And you finally do it, and you get to 100K, and you say, hey, I feel happier, right? So like the experiment was a success. Then you run the next one. Okay, what is the next thing? What is my next hypothesis on what would make me a little happier? And so life is just a series of doing that over and over again, right? Like getting the girl of my dreams is going to make me happy. And so we just keep running that same experiment a bunch of times. And so what makes someone, I think, sharp or brilliant is they know how to run the right experiments and they're good at running it. So for you, right, like what's the next experiment that you want to run? Right? It's like what's something that you think will make you happier? You don't know yet, but you think it'll make you happier. Like what's the hypothesis there? It can be like weekly game nights. Like weekly game nights would make me happier than if I didn't do it.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And then go run the experiment.
Yeah. I think that's one element to it. I think another one would be like, what if I, make a channel that's more focused on like making money and then have one that's purely like more enjoyment. Because also another thing that I'm frustrated about myself for is like I love fashion and I would always make like outfits for myself like every day in high school. But ever since moving to New York, I was like, oh, I'm excited. I'm going to actually dress more fashionably. But like every day at home, I'm literally in sweatpants. And I think that's like caught up to me mentally because I love dressing up. And like to never do that in the name of efficiency is like so bad. And so I'm just like, I need to dress up every morning, even if that means taking more time, but I'll be happier. And I think part of the like feeling of like despair in this moment is like, I'm not sure what experiments to run, but I guess those are some like hypotheses of the hypotheses to test.
Exactly. I think I'm such a big fan of creating logical frameworks to answer illogical, ambiguous topics or questions, right? And so it's like happiness is so ambiguous and like whimsical and like not, it's something like in the ether. Happiness isn't like doesn't feel like a real thing. So how can I, in my STEM mind, create some sort of logical framework that can help me understand happiness better? And that's like hence why experiments come into play, right? So like I hope you run the right hypothesis, but most times you're going to be wrong. Which is why like everyone is in the pursuit of something, right? Like they want a 6-pack body because they think it'll help them get girls or something, right? They run that hypothesis and they realize it didn't give them the happiness that they wanted. So then they realize the hypothesis was wrong. And they wasted all that time running this test. But they had to have run it because they needed to see what's on the other side. Almost.
A conclusion I could make right now, I think, is that any hypothesis about an end goal that has an end is wrong. Like if it's to get 100K, it's wrong because it has an end goal. Where like we said weekly game nights, it has no end. Dressing up in every day has no end. The pursuit of the journey itself, like yourself, has no end. And so for sure, at least we know one thing. It's like it is about the journey. And which is why I say you're enlightened. Like you have like actually cracked the code up here. And funny enough, that's what I said in a recent video. I was like, your dream life is not about your circumstances, but it's about your mental state. Right. And even I'm like, I need to listen to myself.
I mean, you give the best advice.
Oh, thank you.
Before we started this call, I was saying how Amy's advice on giving advice, which is the true advice is not about saying what's right or wrong. It's about empowering the other person to go be their best and be their most authentic selves. That's the thing that I carry around with me all the time. But to double down on like the experiment analogy really quick is that like the happiness of life comes from you enjoy running the experiments. Like that's what the journey means. Is like you enjoy running the experiments.
Oh my gosh, this is so meta.
Sense?
Yeah, it's so meta. It's
I think a lot about random stuff.
No, I love it. This is so brilliant.
Can I talk a little bit longer?
Yes, of course. I wasn't sure how much time you had.
I have a little more time than I thought I did.
Okay.
I've been writing a lot of notes on myself. And so for those who don't know, I got into a relationship pretty recently. The past 2 episodes that we've chatted, I think we've talked about love life a good amount maybe. And like my pursuit of the love life.
Yes.
And offline, I was saying how being in a relationship, you are faced with a whole new set of problems that I didn't know I had to work through, because someone's counting on you. Anyway, I had a really tough time with not feeling like I'm enough. And I think it comes down to self-love. I love the journey, but I'm coming to realize that I don't have love for myself, in a way that I want to, in a way that it ends up being detrimental to me. An example of that is like, in insecurity, usually stems from lack of self-love. I find that when you make petty comments, or like you jab at someone in a way that is a little bit rooted in jealousy, it's truly because like you don't think you're enough. Is how I think about it. So, do you have any advice for me as someone who thinks they're not enough? That's a tough one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is there any particular way in which you don't think you're enough? Like, is there one trait or one example that you could give?
Yeah. It gets a little remote, relationship-y. Okay. But we can try.
Okay. Only if you're comfortable.
We can try. No, I'm fine with it. What's a way? Okay. Well, we talked about this a little bit earlier, right? And I hope no one like connects the time dots or the timeline, whatever. But
it's okay.
There was this moment. This actually happened in my past relationship, so I can. It's a past relationship.
That's fine. Also, this will be posted in like when I'm back from China. So
past relationship, I dealt with this problem, which was like I found myself getting jealous that my partner was talking to other guys. Okay. And deep down, I trust that they wouldn't do anything to hurt me, but I couldn't help the feeling of being jealous. And so what I had concluded was that the attention that I was giving my partner wasn't enough, and that my partner needed to go outside of me to get the attention that she was missing. And what that does is that made me feel inadequate. Like I didn't deserve to be with her, right? And I can't think of other examples right now, but there are many ways in which that expresses itself. Lack of self-love and not feeling like you're enough.
Well, do you feel like you truly didn't give her enough attention?
I feel like I gave her enough, yeah. Mm-hmm. But what it is I don't think that she perceived it as enough. I think that's what matters more. It's like I put in the effort that I thought was the right amount. Mm-hmm. But it's not really about like what I put out. It's more like what your partner receives.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I think in this case, it's like if you asked all these questions to yourself and you're like, oh, actually, I gave the attention that I thought I was enough. Like with your best judgment and out of everything you truly did your best.
Yeah.
Then it's more about the other person than yourself. And I think the attitude to have is like, this might sound stubborn or like pretentious or I don't know, but it helps. It's like, I'm always right. Right?
Yeah.
Like where you already use your best judgment and you already looked within yourself. So it's not like you're arrogant, right? You already looked within yourself. Like, oh, did I give enough attention?
Yeah.
And you're like, yes. Then I'm in the right here. And
right.
There's nothing that I should feel bad about. And that simply means that they're not the right person for you because I believe that the right people, it's self-selecting. Like I said, if you go to a party and someone doesn't like you, that means you don't like them.
Yeah.
And also in a relationship context, something that I stand strongly by is like when you have a checklist of like, oh, I want my person to be tall. I want my person to be smart. I want my person to be blah, blah, blah. Something on that list that no one puts there is like, I want my person to think I'm his dream girl or I'm his dream guy. It has to be like that. Yeah. And that's also why I think Sean and I work because I think he's the best and he thinks I'm the best.
Yeah. Well, so I don't want you to air anything out, but
Okay.
what I'm kind of working through
Mm-hmm.
is what are the problems that you as a couple need to solve together versus what are the problems that you have to work on your own. So kind of like doubling down on your point is like, if you're always right, then you're never the one who has the problem. But also, like, people do need to work through their own internal struggles for them to show up as their best self, right? So, like, what's the balance there between, like, what's something that you guys work together as a pair versus something that you have to work through yourself to be a good partner?
Yeah. So something to work together as a pair where we are both right, but we're just different is kind of like I told you before, is the conflict resolution kind.
Right.
It's like he's avoidant, I'm anxious, right? We're both right in our own world, and that's how we believe is the best way to solve it. And that's how we know we are each trying our best, right? Which means no one's wrong and no one's a bad guy. But that obviously conflicts, so that's something we have to work on together.
Right.
Something to work on separately is, for example, I might like neglect something in the household, like I don't know, I forgot to do laundry or something, simply because I was like, I don't know, too focused on editing a video or something.
Right.
And in that case, I know I'm not in the right. I know that's something I need to work on, and that's where I'm like, this is my job to fix, because we're a team, and as a good teammate, we can give each other compassion and compromise.
Yeah.
But we also want to think of the other person and be like, oh, if I don't do this, then I'm hurting the other person, or like it brings the team down, you know? And so
I see.
Every case where like you work on yourself is when you acknowledge you're not actually right.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. One more thing.
Okay.
Which is about this concept of control. So I've come to realize that we really don't have control of anything. like as people, the only thing we really have control of is our own selves.
Yes.
And how we react to things. But everything outside of that, like, we actually don't have control over. And I'm a total control freak. Like,
yeah,
I want this thing to happen this way because I know it'll resolve in my heart or it'll resolve in my head well.
Yes.
And I'm like coming to realize like how nasty of a mentality that is. So I don't really know what the question is here, but it's more like, how do you be okay with giving up control? It's vague. So tell me if you want me anything to clarify.
So I'll just give you my reaction first.
Okay,
and it's
okay.
like, you tell me the answer when you figure it out.
Okay, gotcha.
Because I also need that, because I get like, so I'm a type 1 Enneagram, which means I care a lot about like, I think like justice in the world, or like things being fair and things like that.
I see.
And so a lot of things in the world upset me, especially because like I actually get exposed to it via social media. There's a lot more that I know that I would rather not know because I can't control it, yet it makes me mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I am so frustrated about that trait within myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like actively trying to learn, how do I stop caring so much?
Yeah.
And I even talked to ChatGPT, my best friend. I talked to Chatty about this.
That's so funny.
And Chatty is like, you know, caring makes you you. So it's not wrong to care. But it's also like, I think Chatty said something like, oh, it's okay to care, but it's also okay to like not do anything about it. And to feel like you can't do anything about it, you know? Because I think part of the caring is like, oh, I can do something about it, or like I should, or like that, like inaction makes me frustrated.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's like kind of confusing, but
it's like the idea is that like to fully understand that you can't do anything about it, and so you worrying and you getting all riled up about it doesn't serve you.
Yeah. And something I've been telling myself like for a long time too is like, out of all the problems in my life, you know, solving that societal problem should not be high on my list, because I actually have a lot of my personal problems too.
Right.
And so like, until I'm done working through every single problem in my life, then I can work on that. Then it's like, oh, that brings me more peace. Like, okay, actually, I don't need to worry about that because it doesn't even involve me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is also for me one of those problems where like I can understand it conceptually, but to live being okay with lack of control is something that I'm working through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually not sure what the mindset shift or like actions to take are. So like, yeah, literally once you find out, let me know.
I thought this way. I had a very similar take on New Year's resolutions in that like there's so many things that we want to implement in our lives, and we understand them logically and conceptually, but we don't know how to embody it and live it. And so my best approximation is to just constantly be thinking about it. Like if you constantly ask yourself, like, is this something that I have control over? And actively think or tell yourself, let go of control of this thing because you can't do anything about it. You keep doing it so many times throughout a given day, month, year, that it becomes second nature, and then it becomes part of the way you live. That is like my only explanation on how to do that. Yeah. Or my only way that I think through things. It's just like whenever a moment where control is involved comes up, think to yourself, I don't have that control. Like I can't do anything about it. Then keep repeating that in your mind. So the same thing with like, that's how I learned how to enjoy the journey, not the destination. Is that like every time I was thinking like, oh man, I really want X, Y, or Z. No. I actually don't want that. Like I want the pursuit of it to be fun. Yeah. And every single time I wanted something, I like kept telling myself that the part of the getting it part is not fun. The journey to get it is the fun part. Yeah. And so like I just kept doing that until it became second nature. Oh. Maybe same thing with you and your confidence. You kept like telling yourself, I'm confident. Like it's like self-affirmations almost. I don't know. Yeah. That's my best explanation. No.
That's interesting. Yeah. I feel like I feel like for me, the words I tell myself turn into empty words. Like words themselves don't have any meaning.
Wait, what do you mean? And like, I'm not following.
Like if I say the words I'm confident, that doesn't mean I'm confident. Like someone can say in the mirror, I'm confident, but it's so much more wazzy-woozy. It's like galaxy spiritual that you actually become confident. And so the way like I became confident, I think, is just simply becoming competent and like doing things before I feel confident. Yeah. And then I'm like, oh, that wasn't actually so scary. So I forgot it's like classical conditioning. So my perspective is that it's classical conditioning. And so funny enough, like when I let go of control on the wedding, that made me so happy. And so that's going to encourage me to let go of control more. And it's like more of that kind of thing, similar to confidence.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I love it. Wait, I guess those are two ways that we can let go of control. It's like you put yourself in positions where you're forced to let go of control, and it gives you a good outcome. Yeah, and you love it, and you're happy. Yeah. Like if you can not manufacture, but put yourself in those positions, right? Yeah. Then you do it enough times, then your brain will shift. Whereas for me, I just have to like think about it a lot, and then my brain will shift. Yeah.
I suppose so. Yeah. They're very difficult questions and difficult.
Yeah,
things
I know.
To do.
Yeah, they got very deep very quickly. It's like at a certain point, I think we're both such thinkers that we like think in circles.
Or yeah.
Right. It's like
we think ourselves to the death.
Right. I also had this thought of
you had a thought
about like, man, wouldn't it be so easy to be someone who like doesn't think, they just do things.
I think that all the time.
Right? It's like what a blessing. But I also I talked to my friends about this. I'm like, I really wish I wasn't a thinker, because life would be so much easier. But also the thing that comes with us being able to think is that we have a lot of empathy. Yeah. Right. So like it's a superpower, and it's a curse too.
And I believe we have more control if we think.
Right.
Because if you're just a doer and you go on autopilot, anyone can control what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, maybe our life would be easier, but it would feel less like our lives. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Because we are our brains.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like every time I'm like, oh man, I wish I didn't think so much. I think, you know what? Thinking is like kind of what makes me me.
Yes, exactly.
Right? And so I'm okay with that. Yeah.
For sure. So speaking of thinking and control, so my question is, what does being the CEO of your own life mean to you?
What does being the CEO of your own life mean to me? That's a great question. My thoughts, especially my first ones, have to be with leading an authentic and genuine, acting in a way that is genuine and authentic. That's what it means for me to be the CEO of my own life. And so oftentimes we live our lives where insecurities or finances or other things motivate and determine your decisions, right? Like you work hard to get an A in school because you want to go to a good college. And what you're actually guided by is oftentimes the feeling or the perceived feeling of getting into a good college. And when you're guided by some external motivator, right, that's not an authentic and genuine way to live your life, in my mind. Mm-hmm. So what it means to me to be the CEO of my own life is it means that I live my life in the most purest form, and that my authentic feelings are what dictate my decisions. Okay. I said the same thing like 4 or 5 times back to back to back and had no variance between the words that I chose. But I think it comes down to authenticity and genuineness. Yeah. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah. I love that.
I don't know.
Because so truth be told, I realized in this moment that I don't have an answer myself.
I was going to ask you right back. I was like, what do you think?
Yeah. But so what I was going to say, like related to your answer, is like, basically, when we think of the term CEO of life, we could think of life as metrics that we have to hit, like running a business, right? Like, optimize our daily routine.
Right.
What can we cost cut, quote unquote, which is like cut out like less time wasted or things like that. And like, what areas of my life do I invest in the most? Right. Yeah. And so you could put on paper a bunch of things that mean you running your own successful life, like a business, right?
Right.
Or whatever, like basically having more concrete things. But what I'd say is like, it's not really about metrics, and it's simply like you said, living how you want to live. Yeah. And that is actually being the CEO of your own life, because then you're in control of your body and what you want to do. Right. But it's very hard because we don't live in a silo. We don't live on our own. Yeah. And so that's why it's a very interesting question I want to ask everyone.
Yeah. If you could, being a CEO, like my first thoughts, like what are the things that you associate with being a CEO? It's like, it's leadership, it's ownership, and it's some sort of sense of freedom. Yes. Right? Yeah. And so that's what I sort of meant by like your insecurities aren't guiding your decisions. Like you are free from all of those things. The only thing that's guiding your decisions is what you want.
Yeah. Right. I like the analogy using the CEO because they have the qualities that you just said. Yeah. But also it gives a sense of like, this is my life, like this is my business. I have every decision is in my hands, which means like we have an internal locus of control, which I think a lot of people don't. Like they might just, do things because someone else told them, right? Yeah. But like they don't realize they're in the driver's seat. But what I also say is that CEOs have stakeholders who are like the board members. Yeah. And so the reality of life is actually we each have our own stakeholders too. Yeah. Like we can't just do whatever the heck we want because we I don't know, our parents like or whatever, or like our family and
good point.
Yeah. And then pay rent and everything.
Yeah. I guess it's like what is the most authentic but efficient way to live your life, including rent, including all like the things that you must complete, while also having ownership and freedom. Yeah. It's like the balance of all of the different factors.
Yeah. Just like when you're the head of your own business, like the business is ideally exactly how you would envision it with like the design you want, the like people you want, and everything like that, right?
I guess it comes down to, for me, I guess the ownership of it all. Like CEO of my life, it just means like I have ownership, true ownership of like my decisions and my process.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I believe you are a CEO of life, hence you're on the podcast.
Thank
like,
you. Thank you.
The way
I have to come up with a better answer, and I'll send it to you. I'll send you an audio recording.
Okay.
But I want to workshop that. I had the whole podcast to think about it, and I still came up with a terrible answer.
No worries. But you embody it.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Soon. One of these days. Yeah.
Your life is unique, and that it's authentic from what I see. So you have indeed become a CEO of your life.
Let's go.
Okay. Awesome. Well, is there anything you want to say? Any last words?
Go be your most authentic, genuine self. At the end of the day, I think that is all that actually matters.
Yeah.
Right. There's an awful, icky, nasty feeling when you do things that aren't genuine. So avoid that.
True.
Yeah.
That's so true. It's very, very relevant for this day and age.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
that's all my last piece. Yeah.
Cool. Where can
Good
people
stuff.
where can people follow you?
LinkedIn. Taiki Chung.
Okay.
That's the spot.
Awesome,
yeah.
awesome.
Post a podcast there. Yeah.
Yes. I will link your socials below. So everyone listening, please follow Taiki. Obviously, he's an amazing guy who has been on here for the 3rd time now.
Let's
so,
go.
Yay.
I want to make sure that I'm the person who shows up the most on your show.
Oh,
That's a mark of success for me.
Yes.
That's what it means to be the CEO of my life. Right there. That's it right there.
I'm sure that won't be hard, honestly. I love having you on. Anyway.
Always a good time.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yay, good job.
Oh my gosh.